Let's have a talk about meaning and morality. To everyone who's watching, if you have common sense, empathy, and overall respect, stick around and I promise you'll enjoy this video. But if you don't have any of those, I think you would still enjoy this topic because I want to discuss some real stuff here. Things are looking very interesting in our world currently. They always have been looking interesting. Based on the title, I want to ask you, the viewer, the human being that you are we living in a dark timeline? Possibly, perhaps. As someone who's very fascinated by nature, human nature, and species, and just life in general and how it works, I wonder why are things the way they are? What if life was something completely different? What if we all walked on four legs like Squidward? That'd be kind of awkward. What if we all couldn't speak, hear, smell, see, taste, or feel? The way we all live life is the same in a general sense. We eat, we sleep, we work, we clean, we think, and repeat. And of course, it is much more than all of that. You may understand my point. I am basically just thinking though, and I wonder if anyone thinks like this too. Why can't things just be more peaceful? Peace over violence. That's what I believe in. So many stories and creations, it's always the good versus bad. Good may win, bad may win, none may win. No matter who wins, it's gonna be a cycle. Someone's always gonna come and destroy the plans of the good or bad. That's basically what fighting is. Sometimes it's never ending. The way life works is that there will always be someone who disagrees with us. Something to worry about, and anything and everything you may not even imagine that will pop up. Like health issues, for an example. The fact that any one of us can just stop functioning always makes me zone out in a different type of way. Life could really change in less than a second, yet with a lifetime of good deeds and wrongdoings. A lot has been happening in the universe, and it's always been like that since the dawn of time. But I do feel like things are looking a little too hazy. For someone who just barely entered their 20s, I always anticipated for a cool and calm and easygoing life since I was younger. But little did little me know that growing up can be cruel, fun, but cruel, and then fun. It's always switching. I think the majority of this world we live in has a unsafe environment. And I'm not just saying that subjectively, but also objectively. I mean, where is anywhere that is truly safe? I mean, yeah, in this planet, the universe, I mean, is there anywhere we could just sleep, breathe, feel, eat, have hydration, and just be able to sit down and relax? Is that possible? Think of this though. The more people, the more problems. That's the truth. And oftentimes the truth sucks. Just like people who suck make things in this life suck. And I've experienced that so many times. You know, you're around someone that's just so rude, so unfun. And that's just how life works. And I wish it was different. But that's why the line, ignorance is bliss, is honestly captivating to me, because as someone who used to just screw around 24/7 to now where all I want to do is take care of myself and others. I mean, literally, I really just was always in my head. You know, I was always distracting myself with something. Now I can't really distract myself. You know, I feel like I'm just too self-aware, and I'm always kind of just thinking, but always doing my best to live in the moment too, because I already discussed that in a previous video of mine, but we need to live in the moment as well. Yeah, so let that be a reminder. Like I said though, I'm no longer ignorant. Ignorance is bliss, and bliss is innocence. We were all once innocent until things happen, and I can definitely speak for myself. I just feel like so much has happened that, dang man, it's like crazy. These experiences we all go through just ultimately change us in so many ways possible, whether it's good and bad. There's a theme with the good and bad here, by the way, but it's important to know that life isn't just black and white. We as humans and species have something that makes us so much different. And what is that? Like I said, all of our experiences, we all go through these different experiences, and a lot of them no one even knows about. No one even knows how we will feel. No one really knows how anyone is feeling every single moment. Isn't that just astounding? I mean, really, I can't really comprehend that, but I can, because I've always thought that for, I'd say over 10 years, dude. Our minds and our hearts, they're all different. We are all different. I believe it's lovely that we're all so different, but yet we are similar. But in times like these, we're getting divided more than united, sadly. And I think social media is one reason. I feel like to create a bond, which it still does, there's still a lot of fan bases, a lot of things like that, but there's also a lot more arguments. If you're like me, you don't really like the arguments. You think it's pointless. I mean, isn't it really just pointless? These arguments, these debates. I mean, yeah, we have the freedom to speak, but at the end of the day, why can't we all just agree on something that is truly good or even truly funny? Hey, is this funny? Is this not funny? You know what I mean? Just as an example. I mean, it could really all be that simple. This life. Some people just kind of make it hard. How can we change this? How can we defeat the enemies that are consumed by darkness? That's the way I look at it. Almost sounds like an anime right there. Or like some Dragon Quest 11. Gotta fight the darkness with the light. But truly, what do we do? What can we do? That's something I've been asking myself more and more ever since gaining full consciousness of age 4, literally. I guess I've always been a bit of a deep thinker. The answer to this question, though, well, the dream answer would be that we all just work together and rebuild ourselves as a society. No more horrible leaders, no more fighting, no more darkness. It's as if we could just put it out the same way water puts out fire. Get rid of the heat and bring the cool. That seems like a difficult task, though, for everyone to be on the same page of positivity and effort. Yet, many of us have gone through so much that even just to get up after our alarm rings, oh man, that's like the worst part of the day, is when that alarm rings in first morning. These are the times where it's humanity versus insanity. That's the reality of it. You might not want to hear it. It's so true. That's why it's important to surround yourself with the best and healthiest environment as possible. But even with what's going on around the world, which there's a lot that's been happening, especially this past week, you just gotta be careful. And really, we just gotta have fun, dude. I mean, I don't even know where things are going. I really think things are looking, like I said, hazy. Like, I don't know how 5 years will look like, how 10 years. If we're sticking around, we have a lot to recover from and a lot to just rebuild. I believe we can do that. It really is going to take a majority of us to do that. It's a really hard, that's like a hard wish. I'm basically wishing for the best for everyone, but, sadly, in this life, it can't really be like that. I don't like that. I wish everyone could succeed and be healthy. Really, only a handful of individuals can live that sort of life. But maybe, just maybe, after all of this, there is somewhere peaceful. Maybe even in this life, somehow we could explore a new world, maybe a new timeline, maybe shift this dark timeline to a timeline of light. That sounds very ambitious. And again, sounds like something you'd see in an anime, but I wish that was the case. We'll see how things turn up. But at the end of the day, you gotta appreciate what you have. If you have anyone around you, tell them you love them and try to stick close to them. Time's only moving and times are getting a little tough. So anything could happen. Believe it, anything could happen. I believe that's all I gotta say, though. I really hope anyone who stuck around, you enjoyed this topic, this video. And usually when I talk on this channel, I don't really go super duper deep, but I just felt the need to write all this down and speak it on my channel because I have the freedom to. And I think it's important to speak up and not stay quiet. And I think it's also important to take action for the better, of course. I'd be interested to hear anyone's opinions about this topic and just kind of what's going on around the world, and just to have some lighthearted conversations because I enjoy that, and I think it's important for us to discuss about some serious things, but also realize, hey, let's just do it in a fun and healthy way. In the link below, there will be a Google form if anyone's interested in hearing me talk about certain topic or discussion or anything like that. Feel free to leave a suggestion below. And before I go, I gotta leave my song recommendation, and today this one is honestly kind of ironic considering what this video is about, but this one is honestly a favorite of mine lately, and it's called Aquais. I think I'm butchering that, I don't even know, It's by Oasis. Man, I don't know, something about that riff and just some of the lyrics, man, that kind of hits hard. So yeah, give it a listen if you want or don't want to. Completely up to you, but nonetheless, you have a lovely day or night wherever you're at. Take care and see ya.